Alright, so I finished my work from the other day, and it is time to ink it. Been trying to think of a good album to listen to while I do this, and I'm not quite sure yet. So, we shall soon see. I believe the music I have is working, so let me know if it's not. I'll be starting this pretty soon. I absolutely need to de-stress. I might just listen to Strawberry Fields Forever for like ever and ever. No. Pink Floyd, maybe? Oh, no. Nope, we're going with... We're going with The Doors. Yeah. We're going with The Doors. Alright. Ah! Thank you! I really appreciate that. It's nice to see you, Josie. I'm not sure. Let me know if you can hear the music. It's supposed to be kind of low, but if it's too loud, let me know. Might tilt this a little bit away from my eyes. I haven't gotten out my glasses yet. It's kind of loud, or I'm kind of loud? I can change it. Background music vibes. Okay. Let me adjust a little. And you're not hearing The Doors, are you, by any chance? I tried to make sure that in my settings it was going straight to my headset, not to the speakers. I haven't decided what this really is yet. Maybe mountains. Honestly, this way is the most interesting to me. Like, I really like how it looks this way. So, I may leave it like this. I'm not sure yet, though. There we go. Hopefully you've been having a good day. It's Thursday, I think. Friday your time. You worked. Oh, work sucks. But hopefully it wasn't too bad. I know, like, physical labor can get kind of icky, especially if you're having to deal with water. You run into someone you cut out of your life. Oh, jeez. You're putting something on the shelf at work. Oh, what, did they just walk in? That'd be crazy. Oh boy. You can just hear, hey Josie. Oh no. In a voice that you didn't want to hear. It was a friend from high school, huh? Well, I hope this wasn't a bad interaction. Just awkward. Yeah, I totally get that. It's hard seeing people who are like not, you didn't have like a good ending with. It's like, oh, hey. Yeah, if they dead named you, that sucks. Oh, okay, they did the opposite. Yeah, I can understand that, so that way you don't have to deal with people. Yeah, that makes sense. I know for a lot of people it takes, like, there's certain places you want to be out and certain places you never want to be out, so unless you have to. So I get that. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can always say it's a childhood nickname or something, since you, if anybody asks. But that's still hard to play off, I'm sure. I finished this today, like the inking of it. It's kind of been an all day thing, off and on, as I've been doing stuff. Started Tuesday night, basically, because it was like Wednesday morning, kind of. Oh, cool, for the book? That'd be awesome. You should think about doing an art stream for it. I mean, honestly, for the most part, I do art streams like this because it's like, what else am I gonna do? I'm already doing the art. I might as well. There's so many people who do art streams. And it's kind of fun to do like physical media rather than digital. But I have fun with like digital compositing and stuff like that. Rankle's still being a stickler about the main character because it's a guy he knew. Oh, that makes sense. So they want, he wants him to look a lot like his friend, then I take it. That's gonna be hard because it's gonna wind up being like a caricature, and like that's hard work, like as an artist to do caricature work, basically. Otherwise, he likes what he sees. That's great, though. I mean, like, that everything else is good. Because that means, like, the only thing that's really going to be an issue that comes up is the character specifically. Which once, you know, you have a design that he likes, it'll be, you know, easy going forward. The picture he sent for reference was apparently off because he said he was leaning down, so it made his neck look jowly. I see. Yeah. Well, tell him to get better reference photos. That's on him. That's good. That's good. I'm glad we're like, hey, I know I need better pictures if you're upset about this. Your aunt was in town too. That's cool. Hopefully that was a good visit. I like my aunts. My aunts are cool. They don't get along, but I like them. This is basically a family day last Friday. And she does know. Because your mom outed you. Hey. But at the same time, your mom felt comfortable with that, I guess, enough to out you, so to speak. Hopefully. Cross fingers. I'm glad that it was a positive outcome. It can be kind of like hinky when it comes to relatives, from what I understand. She needed someone to talk about it. Interesting. Was she trying to like understand, you know, a lot of issues that are going on right now? Or was it that your mom needed somebody to talk to about it, like as friends kind of deal, so she spoke to your aunt? Ah, there we go. Yeah, you just said that. You know, mothers can be really protective because, and really worry, and it may come out on the wrong end of how it's interpreted because, like, well, I should say the wrong end of their original intent, which is they, you know, fear for your safety, basically. That's always the hard thing. Let's see if I can get this color a little brighter without hurting my eyes much. I think that's the right tone. Yeah, and it's up as much as I can. I just wanted to make sure I didn't have it on the what's it called? The darkening, because I can't really tell because I have glasses on. Yeah, to give you her old bag. That's cool. Oh, that's rad. You know, aunts have the best hand-me-downs sometimes. Like I got from my Aunt Julie once, I got to go through her records, and that was a lot of fun because she was a Paul McCartney fan, and I'm a big Beatles fan. Ah, Z. Yes, I am back to arting. Look at what I've done, though. Well, thanks, Josie. I'd like to see that. That'd be fun. I can't, unfortunately, because I'm using my phone as a camera right now. So I'll take a look at it later. So don't be mad if you don't see me having looked at it. until like tomorrow or something. Okay, cool. Yeah, because I have my camera as like my VTuber avatar and camera, and then yeah, I got my phone. This time I have it plugged in, which is great, and it is at, what percentage is it at anyway? It's at 77%. It's going down super slow because I have it on like energy saver basically. How is Z doing tonight? You're gonna be doing a job. Okay, the way that you put that sounds like you're plotting like an assassination for somebody in the sense of like a movie. You know, like I'm doing a job. Hey! Thank you. It's nice to see you, Les. Do you prefer me to call you Les or do you want me to call you Aaron? Because I never know anymore. Because I can totally call you Aaron because you totally are Aaron. You're doing DoorDash. That's cool. Let's do that for a little bit. Hopefully you won't mind it, and hopefully like the restaurants and stuff will be pretty chill. Les is fine, honestly. Okay, cool. If you would prefer, though, I can certainly call you Aaron. So hopefully you all are not hearing the Doors and are hearing some kind of like chill vibes music. Because I am totally listening to the Doors right now. Nice. Earn some cash for that concert you're plotting to go to. Damn right. Concert money's great. Elevator music. Yeah, basically. You know. And I'm hearing like Jim Morrison talking about ride the snake to the lake. It's all good. Okay. Well, as long as it's totes okay. I don't know. I've actually been debating about my name. I'm actually thinking of maybe going by Victoria, which I have never formally gone by in my entire life. I've been like Vic or Tori. And I don't know. You hit 40 and you're like, well, fuck, maybe I need to grow into my name. At least the thought passed my mind. Because, like, I'm going to go by Rhea when I'm, like, really old. Because that's the only part of my name I haven't used. Yeah, you're watching an isekai anime called Moonlit Fantasy. Because when I first watched it, I loved it. That's fun. I was actually thinking about watching Fushigi Yugi, which was, I mean, like, the isekai original there. I love those kind of anime, though. I mean, you get thrown into another world, and then there's plot that happens. It's great. Like, who doesn't want that? Ugh, Vicky is terrible. No, it's never been Vicky, because Vicky are bitches. Like, straight up. Like, Vicky's are bitches. Every single one I've met, doesn't matter how they spell it, they're all a bitch. I mean, that's just the facts. That's just the facts there. Like, Ricky or Nikki, those are fun names, but Vicky, oh no, you don't want to get on a Vicky's bad side. That's always funny. It's funny, my pharmacy tech, there's a Tori there. I I crack up about that because it's spelled the same way, and like I've heard them call for her across the room, and my ears still perk up at that name for some reason. Icky Vicky. Yeah, there's that too. Like, nah. Well, hopefully you're having a good night, Les. I know it's pretty late over there. The only one who is early at is Z there, Mr. Drayle. It's like 11 here. Oregon is nice and cool tonight. I envy that. It was 108 outside. And it is 75 in here right now. And I have the air conditioning running, and that's as low as it can get. Like, that's the lowest it pulled all day is 75. And we're not even in the heat of the summer. That's just, unfortunately, how it is in the desert. You've been dealing with 90 all week. 90 sounds great, but at the same time, you guys have humidity on the East Coast. Like, all y'all over there. You should make an anime binge night just because. I know, right? I miss doing the Full Metal Alchemist thing in CC server. That was fun. Ooh, you watched Jurassic World. I'm hoping to see the new one in theater. I hope that is a fun ride. You have to tell me how Jurassic World is. I have been absolutely avoidant and disassociating. I've had a hard week. My medication changed a bit. My antidepressant, because it's making me oversleep an incredible amount. My doctor was like, well, let's try it at a slightly smaller dose, because this one's atypical and not like SSRIs or anything. So I did that for a week, and yeah, depression kicked my ass, along with like disassociation and stuff like that. So I'm going back to the normal dose, and then we're gonna try a double dose, which will be interesting to see if I sleep like the dead or if it actually straightens out my sleeping schedule, which is the hope the doctor has. Because since it's not like an SSRI or anything, it's kind of unusual. Sometimes people do better on more and sometimes less. So but I'm hanging in, and like I've gotten through my worst moods with it, in the sense of like I removed myself from situations because I did not have the spoons to deal with them. I barely had the spoons to do laundry today, which I luckily did. Yeah, I mean, when it was at the normal dose, like the regular dose, it was working pretty well. It gave me space to like get stuff done and not like cry at the drop of a hat or randomly, which was my issue. So getting a little breathing room is a good thing, and that's what I'm hoping I'll continue to get with it. Not enough spoons for moronic drama. Yeah, you feel that. I know, you know about some of it. So let's see. Oh, and Tracy's been working at near 160-degree dishwashing. Gosh, that humidity has to be awful dishwashing. You're on an SSRI and you hate it. It makes you want to sleep all the time. Those suck. Like, for me, though, like, it gave me my first suicidal thought ever the first time I was on an SSRI. So I was like, yeah, no. And this was years ago, mind you. This was years ago, like about 4. And so when I went to the doctor I'm seeing now, like, I talked about it, and she was like, yeah, let's try something different, because that apparently, you know, you had bad response to, like, one that's in the family, a lot of them are, and so let's not do that again. And I'm like, thank you, because I don't want to do that again. I don't want those thoughts. But yeah, SSRIs can make you just as sleepy as the weird one I'm on. And like, it can drag out all day. Luckily this doesn't drag out all day. It just gives me like, you know that medicine head feel where you feel super warm and like fuzzy? And like you have a cold and you take a NyQuil and you wake up the next morning and you're like out of it. That's how I feel for about an hour after I wake up. And I've slept like 10 hours or something. Zay's been sleeping. Yay! Because of your depression. Boo. And things have been kicking you in the dick. That's not good, man. That's not good. Sleep is good because you hardly sleep. So like, at least there's a little bit of benefit and also a little bit of mental escape. You know, that's the hardest thing about modern living is like depression. It's not that, you know, people who didn't live in modern times didn't have depression, but like, we recognize what it is. So that kind of makes it suckier. Because it's like, oh, we can name that's just depression. And like, it's so common now that it's like, oh, I just got depression, when it's like fucking hard as shit and it's a liar. Sleep during the day with no dreams. I mean, that can work. What's really strange is this one's actually giving me dreams again. Like, I wasn't dreaming for a very long time because of my sleep apnea and obviously my depression. But mostly my sleep apnea, it disrupts REM sleep. So I just haven't dreamed, and I'm getting dreams now, which is kind of like nice. Because I didn't expect to get any. Josie's glad she's finally on antidepressants. I mean, like, if they're helping, that's fucking fantastic. I love that. Yeah. Depression and everything during the overturn of Roe versus Wade. Yeah, I was overwhelmed a bit about that. And I'm glad that you've been reblogging a lot of trans inclusive and intersex inclusive and non-binary inclusive posts about that, Les. I really appreciate it, so I can reblog them on mine, because that's getting lost in conversation and not even brought up by older generations because they don't understand. I actually had a good conversation with my mom about it, about like the current wave of feminism and stuff like that, and what TERFs are and things. It was a really good conversation. And like, about non-binary people, intersex people, and transgender people who this affects, she was like, yeah, I hadn't even thought of that. And it was like kind of surprising from my mom, but at the same time, I guess not. I shouldn't have been surprised, because most older people just don't generally think of it as anything but a quote women's issue, and it's really not. It's a human rights issue, first off, but like secondly, you know, more than just women have uteruses, and more than just women get pregnant. So it was really, really nice that I got to have that conversation with your mom. Or my mom, lol. Your mom. My mom, actually, she's understanding of it. Like, it's hard for her to understand that gender identity and sex are different things, that most of our generation and Gen Z believe and see gender as what it is, which is performance. It's a social construct, you know? And she really had no... Well, I mean, like, my sister and I have told her that before, but I think it finally hit her what we meant. Because it's like, yeah, people who have uteruses aren't all female. And it affects more than just female people. So, it's hard for her to understand transgender issues, but she tries, and I'm damn proud of her for that, considering, you know, she's a baby boomer. That's, you know, pretty different feminism wave than what we have. So I'm proud of her for like trying to see a bigger picture, mainly. She's really liberal, so like how far does her liberalism extend is kind of the question in my mind. And so far, you know, it extends to making sure people are okay and have access to what they need to. So that's a pretty positive sign for me. It is really hard for boomers. It really is. Like, they have a lot of problems when it comes to, like, wrapping their mind around certain topics, and anything to deal with gender and sex and sexuality and stuff like that. They're all, like, toddlers. I don't mean that in a negative sense, but like they fumble around, they don't know what they're talking about. A lot of them have a hard time because they haven't learned much or past what they were taught like at the beginning. So it's like they just stumble around, and hopefully someone is there to catch them in a positive way. Your grandma in the nutshell. Doesn't help she's crazy conservative like your dad. Ugh. Yeah, that can get really tough. No, my mom's liberal, but like my generation would consider her pretty moderate. Yeah, boomers are very rigid. Like in my mom's day, she was very progressive, but like in my day, she's pretty moderate, but she leans left. And she does her hardest to, like, to stay left, which I'm really proud of. And my dad was the same way. My dad was damn liberal, too. Honestly, I think my dad was more liberal than my mom about a lot of topics. Like, thinking back on it. But he was also really... There was a lot of topics he didn't understand, and I don't think he would understand. I don't think he would understand transgender issues. Like at all. He passed away in 2016, so it wasn't a topic that really got brought up often at all, other than just like the LGBTQ like umbrella. And he was always, you know, progressive when it came to gay rights and everything. So I think he would eventually have been okay. It was really kind of an interesting story. Like, so, you know, when Fox News started becoming like really bad for elderly people, he had a friend next door named Ralph, and he had his friend next door, Ralph, was like in his 70s, and my dad was in his 60s. It was their neighbor when I lived with them for a little bit after my fiance Lou and I broke up. So Ralph would be watching a lot of TV, and you know, Fox News would come on and stuff, and my dad said that they eventually stopped having coffee together because they'd go out and have coffee and chat politics and stuff every morning. But he said that, you know, since that Fox News was getting so propaganda like he couldn't even have a proper conversation with Ralph anymore. He said it was just the weirdest thing. He's like, it was like they drank the Kool-Aid. And this was in 2014. So, like, this shit's been going on for, like, quite a long while. I can't imagine what he would be saying now. But, like, he spotted it then, and it kind of, like, threw me a loop. Because, like, I wouldn't have thought. But, yeah, he was like, I can't have coffee with the guy anymore. He used to be reasonable, and now he's not. Things are weird like that, though. But, you know, there are some good boomers out there. It's just that they're few and far between because they all got shot. or unfortunately, you know, they are like our LGBT elders, our queer elders. A lot of them died in the 80s. Thank you, Ronald Reagan, asshole. Spit on his grave. But, you know, we've lost a lot of good people due to poverty, due to bad health policies, and not just the whole entire AIDS crisis that Reagan was like, ha ha ha, I hope they all die. It was, you know, taking care of veterans after Vietnam, taking care of people in during the Vietnam era, for that matter, all the students and student protesting, Kent State alone. I mean, there's a history of baby boomer generation just absolutely dying. Like, the liberal part of it. So, you know, what's mostly left are the long-lived conservatives. And then, you know, they always said, as you get older, you get more conservative. And that's only true if you get, you know, wealthy. And most baby boomers, some, I should say, a fair percentage of them that are allowed are generally conservative and got more conservative as they got older. Because they had money, and they always vote for protecting their money instead of helping people. Look at me talking politics. This is great. You don't believe that? Believe which? I went through so much there in like 5 minutes. I do think there's still good boomers out there, though. Like, they're just, there's not enough of them. Yeah, you've gotten more liberal, but conservatives, this is a different story. Yeah, I've gotten more liberal as I've gotten older. Like, that's a saying that they used, that as you get older, you get more conservative. And it's like, fuck no. I'm more liberal now than I've ever been. I'm more closer to being a communist. I'm more closer to being, like, a socialist in the sense of, like, Sweden and shit. You know? Not, like, Marxist. But, yeah. It's hard because you're mostly just political enough to support issues that make you feel safer. I mean, that's honestly most people go that route. That's not that you brought us down at all, this. It's an interesting topic. I wonder how this is going to turn out. Z's just a crazy extremist in those terms, and you only get more refined as you age. That's a good way to put it. You're really liberal, though. I'll drink to that. May we all stay just as liberal, if not more so, as we get older and refine. Like a fine wine, really. I'll bring a bottle of claret for you if I realize, if we want to quote the Beatles here. 1 second, I gotta sneeze. Okay, my nose feels funny after that. Turned away from the camera, so my character wouldn't be all like and look weird. It'd be funny though. What color do you think I should use next anyway? So I've also got these ones. I made a little note of my colors. I realized I had 2 pinks, but they're actually pretty much practically the same. So this is the blue that I'm using currently. I think I should go with that blue. There's like another dark blue, which is a little more indigo, and there's also this darker purple. I was using this purple earlier. Maybe we should... Yeah, light blue. Other light blue, I should say. Lighter blue and then more indigo. That's a good idea. You have a good idea, Z. It's definitely like a more true blue, this light blue. The ink is a lot more wet too. But it flows really nicely. And it soaks in super good. Look at that. I don't even really have to touch it, it flows. This is very inky ink. I love it. The other one's really good for fine lines, but this is super nice for repainting. I've used this ink to watercolor it, basically. It's really nice. You've been doing so much digital with the illustrations, I bet. Kind of wish I had like a lighter one than this, but I do want to keep it with ink. I do have like a set of markers, but ink pens are just different and have a different feel. And I like that. Because they just flow so nice. The dark purple is nice. Yeah, I should probably do that. Gonna take a break with pencil and paper for your own stuff. Trying to get a script going for a graphic novel or a webcomic. That would be awesome. I like that a lot. I have a few people I know and a friend who publishes on Tapas or Tapas for webcomics and stuff. It's a nice platform. So if you ever go for one and think of publishing, you know. They seem to really like the platform. I really like how bright this blue is. You're thinking Tumblr, maybe Instagram now that you're out on there. Yeah. Hold on 1 second. You have a cute skirt coming in the mail. Has crystal swords all around it? Natalie brought it to your attention. That sounds really, really cool. I bet that'll look really cool. I like skirts because they're very twirly, but I rarely wear them. Because they only look good in certain skirts. I have taken to wearing skirts because, you know, thighs get sticky walking around. That and I don't want to flash everybody because I am horrible when it comes to sitting ladylike and crossing my legs at the ankle. So I always have really, really, well, I shouldn't say a lot of skirts, but I currently have 2, which is more than I usually have. I usually have like 1. You like skirts more than shorts. Yeah. See, I never thought about wearing boxers under skirts, but then again, I don't have many skirts. Yeah, wearing shorts underneath them. Same deal. I bet the boxers feel nice, though, because, like, they're a little more flowy. Hard to figure out what to pair with. Oh, it's dark blue. Dark blue always looks good with, like, well, other dark blue. Like, think of it like jeans, really. You know, what looks good with a dark colored jean? Thighs don't lie about that sweat. My thighs are scarred from sweating while working a long time ago. Oof. That's why you live in shorts and temp regulating clothes. Ugh. Yeah, that's miserable. See, the other skirts you have are black. One's black plaid. Oh, that's nice. I have to say I have a red plaid skirt because of course I do. Yeah, sweat's like the hardest part. And since I'm like in the desert now and things are incredibly... God, I walked out and I went to pick up groceries like 2 days ago because my mom was sweet and sent me some money for groceries. That's, yeah, my situation right now. So, and by the time I got back, I was just drenched in sweat. I was so, like, I took off my bra, I took off my shirt, and I changed my pants too, because it's like, that's how much sweat you get just being out in that heat. It's not been dry enough here for like the humidity to take away the sweat, but that feels really strange when it does. Like, just so you know. Yeah, thighs rub together. See, that's the thing. My thighs have been running together since like high school, so I've taken to skirts as a solution, along with just jeans and jean shorts. Jorts, I guess they would be. Jorts. Getting hormones and having at least a B cup. You're discovering the wonders of boob sweat. Yeah, boob sweat sucks. It's been gross over there too. Yeah, you have too. God, yeah, boob sweat is the worst. It doesn't matter what gender or what size you are. If you have pectorals that stick out any, it is annoying as shit. Well, and then if you have a belly, like if you have a belly that does a little belly roll, that, not the muffin top, but like the little pouchy belly roll, yeah, you get sweat under there, so you have to learn to put deodorant on down there too. I got a bit of a belly, so it does that. So like, yeah, I definitely recommend like gel deodorants if you need that kind of extra help when it comes to sweat. Honestly, I didn't have to start doing that until I lived in the desert though, because it's so fucking hot. Yeah, man, boob sweat and can confirm annoying. You got his belly as well. Yep, it sucks. Deodorant everywhere, right? Just straight up bathe in deodorant. Though I have to say, I don't put deodorant on under my boobs until at least I have lotioned them. Cause like the deodorant makes it so you can't like have the lotion soak in, and it defeats the purpose. So it's like, oh, that feels funny. It's interesting. SSRI makes you sweat more. It makes you more susceptible to heat stroke. Damn stuff. Same here with the susceptible to heat, because apparently this one, since it's not an SSRI, but it's weird, it makes it so that way you're not feeling as hot as you should feel. So I gotta watch how hot I feel and make sure I drink lots of liquids. But I do anyway. I'm a diabetic, so... Oh, speaking of which, hydrate check. I have tea, iced tea, because there's nothing else to drink. Oh, it makes you gain 30 pounds. Ah, fuck that. Oh, that's awful. I am so sorry. Antidepressants do that. This one, like, they warned me, you might get a little snacky at night. And I'm thinking to myself, oh shit, I'm snacky at night now. What the fuck is this gonna do to me? But I've just kind of like evened out on my weight, and I think that's because of my diabetes and my medication for that. But at the same time, I was losing, and which was good for my diabetes. Like, I just was losing in general, like not doing anything. I was eating poorly and I was still losing. Like, I literally was. Like, I mean, you do what you can when you're a bit destitute and going through a bankruptcy and off of work at 60% pay. But yeah, like, I'm not losing, but I'm not gaining, so that's fine. So Vig, when you drive through your area, would you be interested in going axe throwing board? Fuck yeah, axe throwing. That sounds wonderful. I would love to go toss some axe. I've never been to an axe throwing place before. I'm trying to think if I've wielded an axe before. Have I, though? I don't think I have. That would be fun. Regarding my job, I got notification today I got notification yesterday they received the notes from my doctor explaining that I need to be more off for a little time. And then, today I got notice that they extended my, short-term disability to August 1st, which is the same day I see my doctor. My work requires 2 days prior to like coming back to let them know I'm coming back so I can turn on all the stuff. So I'm going to see if I can rearrange my, because they did this last time too to me. So I'm going to see if I can rearrange my doctor's appointment to like 2 days before August 1st. I think August 1st is a Monday. So that previous Friday, I'll see if I can like get an appointment then instead so they have time. But I got a message from my caseworker telling me that, but I'm not sure if that means my job is protected or not. I believe so. Protected in the sense that the company is willing to wait for me until then. And if that's the case, great. So hopefully I'll get a call back from her tomorrow. I left a message. She's from the East Coast, even though the company is out here. So, like, time zones and everything. She called, like, 3 my time, which was, like, 5 her time. So, I got the, like, I didn't have my phone on, like, ringer, because I never do. Who the fuck has a ringer on? And I was engrossed in doing this, actually. So I missed her call and I left a message, so it was about 6 her time. So we'll find out tomorrow more details on whether or not that indicates I'm staying with the company, which would be good. I really hope so. Used to go to Rendezvous or Mountain Man events where you throw a tomahawk and a large Bowie knife and did really well for yourself. That would be awesome if you could show me the proper throwing method. I would absolutely have a blast, I think. My grandfather, well, my great-grandfather, Rudy, was a logger. And my cousin Josh actually currently is a logger and works with forestry. And my cousin's son, my cousin Jolen's son, actually works for the federal forestry people. So I forget what department that is. I think it's just this Department of Forestry. But anyway, being Oregonians, I should know how to throw a freaking tomahawk or Bowie knife. Hopefully I'm good at it. So my sister is relocating to Oregon. She got a job with Oregon State University. So my mom's moving with her. And so they'll be down like in Albany, I think it is, or Corvallis, which is where Oregon State is. So when I go visit them, I am definitely going to hit Z up because Z is in my home state. Well, technically my home state's California. My second home state, my mom's home state. And that would be just an absolute blast. Les, if you ever get out to the West Coast, let me know. Don't come to this desert, though. Oh my goodness, my city made not Jon Stewart, John Oliver's program on HBO for wasting the most water in the country in the West during the drought, which is to say currently. Fucking hysterical. This place is great. I think we need more purple. I think you're right, the dark purples. Or maybe the more indigo blue. This one? Or that one? Let's go with the dark indigo, right? I'm not sure how much I got, but we'll use it. Purple would be pretty. I think I got more purple. Yeah, I got like that much purple. How much blue do I got? Oh, I got about the same amount. We'll do purple after this. Well, actually, let's get some purple in there. I love my handy dandy scientific color grading system, don't you? Ooh, look at this. Oh, that's nice. God, what I would do with inks, like proper ink pens. I love ink. Look how wet this is. It's great. Okay, that sounded really bad. But we're okay with that. It's that kind of stream. That's why I have it marked mature, so I can say shit like that and be like, oh wait, that was naughty. Very scientific. You think a few little splashes of orange or red here or there would be great. Yeah. Just telling someone goodnight on Discord. Oranges and red. Yeah. I'm definitely... Okay, so... It's gonna go this way. I think. Like, that's my thought currently. So... I'm thinking more like oranges and red up top. I don't know, this might be an ocean, this might be a mountain. This might be greens in here. That position reminds you of a storm. I know, it does, doesn't it? Yeah. So I think that's why we're gonna go purples, like do some purples here and then see how we feel. There we go. This is the way I drew it, by the way. I was showing you guys the upside down. I am also very sorry you don't get to enjoy the Doors with me. Fucking love Jim Morrison. He was amazing. People are strange when you're a stranger. Faces look ugly when you're unknown. What song am I listening to? 5 to 1 is what I'm listening to, which is from Waiting for the Sun, which in fact does not have Waiting for the Sun on the album called Waiting for the Sun, which is the weirdest thing. You're not really familiar other than the major ones like Light My Fire and Riders on the Storm. Oh my gosh, Josie. I think you might like it in the sense that a lot of it is poetry and it's really pretty. It's not all like it's like Riders in the Storm in that sense. Like it has really interesting lyrics because it was made from poetry. Z's been on a Tool kick. That's funny. You both got number songs right now. I got 5-1 and you're like 76-2. Sounds like we're at like a football game and we're checking out the other scores. All-time favorite band's been Rush. I fucking love Rush. Rush is great. They're not my all-time favorite band, but damn, they were fucking amazing. Well, and still are. I think they still tour, right? Schism was a good song. Like, I really liked that Tool song. So what's your favorite Rush song then? Because it's gotta be an album cut, I'm guessing. No? Yeah, Neil Peart died. I was actually really sad about that because I liked him. So they haven't picked up touring again? Oh, that one episode of Futurama? Fuck yeah. That was like the greatest thing, the Futurama, like, with the video games and Rush. Like, my all Rush mixtape. And he just goes for it. So what's your favorite Rush song? And if you can't think of one, because you like them, like, name top albums. Because that's usually how I wind up, like, talking about music to people. It's like, well, I don't have a favorite song, but these are, like, my top 10. Or this album. Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson are contributing to the tribute concert to Taylor Hawkins. Oh. Where's album Hold Your Fire? Oof. It's all over the place. I definitely still maintain my most hated Beatles songs. Anna, which was a cover, and then Maxwell Silverhammer is my all-time most hated Beatles song. The last track is called Taishan, and it's about China, or Taishan. Interesting. It doesn't even sound like Rush. Weird. Maybe they tried something new and it didn't work out. It's weird when bands do stuff like that, because it's like either it's going to be really good or you're left scratching your head. Like, think about it. Sgt. Pepper with the Beatles. Completely out of left field for most people, but it turned out fantastic and people loved it. Nothing like hearing Chinese-inspired music from Canadians. Yeah, that's a little odd. But, you know, people get inspiration from all kinds of things. That's kind of like the wonderful thing about music. But when it's not done well, then it's like, maybe try a different song, guys. Otherwise, they're great. That's good. Les, what is your all-time favorite Beatles song? Are we both like I Am the Walrus fans or what? I mean, though technically, I think mine actually is I Want You, She's So Heavy. That's my favorite. 2112 is an obvious one. Yeah. That one's great. I might actually put on some Rush in a little bit. Make me think about their stuff. It's good. Let's see, what did I favorite from Rush on? Because I like favorite stuff on my Spotify, so I remember that I like them. Because I'm really bad with titles other than Beatles songs. Let's see. Oh, Fly By Night I think is fun. And YYZ I think is fun. Limelight and Tom Sawyer, of course. What other ones? Let me see. I liked Rivendell. That was on Fly By Night. You don't know if you can narrow it to just one. Strawberry Fields. You know, Strawberry Fields is like right there. Like, it's tied with I Am the Walrus for me, to tell you the truth. Your favorite Rush song is probably Red Bruschetta. You can jam out to Primus. I don't know. When I was Big Brown Beaver makes me laugh each time I hear it. In the end. I'm trying to think of like... It's really funny because there's this... So I'm a huge Steely Dan fan, and I get onto the Steely Dan shit posting Reddit because if you're gonna shit post, it might as well be about Steely Dan. And it was funny because there was this really funny one where they actually were talking. It was a meme that they posted about like nerdy stuff, like nerdy bands, and this one was basically like the guy was going off about some song by Rush, but it was so obscure that like the Steely Dan fans didn't even know it. You like the 90s era? Presto. You know, I didn't listen to like any of their stuff that wasn't on like say classic rock radio, because KGON had awesome DJs. I fucking miss KGON. I think they're less DJ friendly now, but like back in the 90s they let them actually do shit and like pick out songs and have long nights. I mean, we'd have they had Led Zeppelin Get the Let Out, where they would do like a whole night of Led Zeppelin, and they'd sync it up with the OMSI laser light show, like because they had one at the planetarium. It was great. But like they do all kinds of like, you know, themed nights and play some deep album cuts. I miss radio like that. Favorite album later is Clockwork Angels. Interesting. Their final album. When they played those live, they had a strong section. Or a string section. That's cool. I like it when bands do that. Deep Purple did that back in the 70s. And it's actually it was my dad's like second favorite Deep Purple album. It's like Deep Purple and we're with the Philharmonic, the London Philharmonic. It was like one of the first like prog rock with an orchestra like recordings. Oh, you saw that live though? Oh, that must have been something else. I love concerts that just surprise you with what they have. I love that kind of thing. Les, you and I both love 90s alt rock. That's our bread and butter. Like, I still remember the first time I saw Cake, and It was like in the Portland Rose Theater, or Rose Garden Amphitheater. And then I saw Sean Lennon, remember? And then I went and saw Chibo Mato. Those were the days. Cake is hella fun to jam out to. This is out of left field, but you've been more into Linkin Park lately. Interesting. Linkin Park. My sister liked them a lot. And so did my first ex, Lou. Like, he liked Linkin Park a lot. You really should have did your aunt to see them on their R40 tour when they were in Ohio. That would have been cool. Yeah, you were so jelly. My sister went up to Sean Lennon and got his autographs at that concert too, the first time. And I was like, oh my god. And I still have the booklet for Into the Sun signed in my autograph collection that my dad kept for us. Linkin Park, the older stuff is good. The new stuff is kind of just doesn't jive with you. Yeah, I'm like that with a lot of bands. Surprisingly, not Cake. Cake's newer stuff is great, but it's been a couple years. But like, at the start of the pandemic, they were starting an album, but they stopped working on it obviously because of the pandemic. So like, they released a single, but that's all that they had finished, and they've been working to get back into doing the album. So I hope that they get to, because it started out really strong, and they're super like leftist politics, so it's really nice to listen to. On when they get political, it's always like, yeah, and you start cheering them on. It's great. Let's see, you got to see Sean Lennon years later, and he got his autograph. Oh, that's so cool. Your Friendly Fire booklet is signed. Oh, that kills me. That, you know, honestly, Friendly Fire is my favorite album by him. As much as I love Into the Sun, Friendly Fire just kind of speaks to me on a personal level. You saw him in Milwaukee in Pabst Blue Ribbon Theater. That is so cool. All the way up in Wisconsin. Oh, you love goth rock and death rock. So many bands are either gone or broken up. That's so true. Like, I would love to see, like, The Cure, or what's left of The Cure. I really like The Cure, and that actually feeds into my Smashing Pumpkins fanning, because Smashing Pumpkins loved The Cure also. It was really kind of interesting. So, before they cut an album, the Smashing Pumpkins, they had like a lot of material. They had been doing stuff for like years, like 2 or 3 years, and like it wasn't this, you know, hard rock sound or even the early slightly psychedelic sound. It sounded like if you got Depeche Mode and The Cure and like made them fuck. It was great. In the weirdest way. It's very new wave. Very, very, so very new wave. There's bootlegs of it though, like all around. But I mean, I absolutely love Smash Pumpkins and their rock sounds. But it was just like so interesting to hear like new wave Smash Pumpkins, and it wasn't that bad at all. Yeah, you'd love to see The Cure too, right? You know, I think that's the greatest thing about modern music. Like, probably one of the only great things about modern music is that we have access to so much modern music. Joy Division, fuck yeah. Gotta love Joy Division. Really, really like Joy Division. I mean, I have like an 80s playlist that I made that's like 60 hours long on Spotify. I love new wave stuff though. Oddly enough, I'm not huge into punk, and I feel like I should be, but I just never really got into actual punk. I have friends that are like heavy into punk, early punk, 70s punk, 80s punk. And it's just, I don't know. Not my thing. Like Riot Girls stuff from the 90s is as close as I get to punk, along with ska, which is like punk plus reggae plus speed. But I've just never really gotten that far into punk. Yeah, Misfits and Ramones about it. I should share you with. I should share that with you. Les, I have a playlist that is literally all the different versions of Strawberry Fields Forever, and it's called Strawberry Fields Forever and Ever and Ever and Ever and Ever and Ever. Sometimes I just zone out to that, and it's fantastic. I want to live in that space. I used to listen to Scooter and Captain Jack and Darude. Oh, hell yeah. Ayo, Captain Jack. Fucking love Captain Jack. I don't know Scooter, but I love Darude. Because Sandstorm is just a freaking classic. But there was other stuff that they did. I should send you that. Hold on. Let me go share that real quick to you. Cause yeah, I thought you'd get a kick out of Strawberry Fields Forever and Ever and Ever and Ever. It is 29 minutes and 32 seconds. That is so funny. I sent you a link. You like Death Cab for Cootie. Cootie. Death Cab for Cootie. But that's it for emo band. Honestly, like, Death Cab for Cutie, I just keep thinking of the Magical Mystery Tour film because of that. You know, with the Bonzo Doodah Band doing the song Death Cab for Cutie. Yeah, you're welcome. Let me get my new wave for you. If I can find it. I have a playlist. My newest playlist is playlist number 69. Like, literally, I've made 69 playlists. So that's the one I'm filling up currently. Let's see. I hope I didn't delete it. I mean, I do have 69. I'll send it when I find it. I'll look later. Where is my new wave? Oh, there we go. Oh, this is the pared down one though. This one's only 11 hours. 10 hours, 58 minutes. That's funny. But this one has good stuff on it. There you go. Oh. I knew I had it there somewhere. You should see my Beatles playlist. They're all like interesting. So I have the White Album, And then the White Album consists of like the White Album, the outtakes from the White Album, the Usher demos, Anthology 3, and Past Masters Volume 2 for like things like Lady Madonna, Inner Light, Hey Jude, and Revolution. And then I have a Let It Be Abbey Road and Anthology 3. That's like 7.5 hours long. The White Album one is like 2 hours or 2.5 hours. I have Sgt. Pepper Magical Mystery Tour Yellow Submarine Anthology 2 separated out for like 5.5 hours. You should send me a list of Sabaton songs. That would be good. My Magical Mystery Tour playlist is Magical Mystery Tour Anthology 3, no, 2, and Part of Love, because I had like The I Am the Walrus, Strawberry Fields, All You Need Is Love, Fool on the Hill. That was really good. I have one I called Beatles 65, which is like Beatles for Sale, Help with the Beatles, Hard Day's Night, Past Masters, Anthology 1 and 2. That's like, I literally titled it Beatles 65 without all that bothersome rock and or roll. So it's more their acoustic-y stuff. And then Rubber Soul Revolver, which literally is just Rubber Soul and Revolver back to back. And then added the 2 singles, Rain, Paperback Writer, and then Anthology 2 outtakes. Oh, and then the Beatles at the Beeb, which is Live at the BBC 1 and 2, which I think the other one's called like On Air Live at the BBC. And then there's Cavern Cats. Cavern Cats is literally like all their rock and roll stuff. So it's like Long Tall Sally, Matchbox, fun shit like that. Oh yeah, my Beatles stuff is so specific. Oh, it's ridiculous. Sabaton and Judas Priest. I love the Live at the BBC one. This is what pisses me off about their first album, is they did Anna when they could have done some other guy. I mean, what were they thinking? They love Motown, which they're allowed to love Motown, but they don't need it. Like, they didn't need to do that specific Motown song. Maybe they thought it'd be good for dancing too. So nice. But it's awful. I really don't like that cover. That's how bad I look. How bad I rag on that one. Your college roommate was a massive Beatles fan. You feel like you absorbed the songs through secondhand listening. This is very true. Yeah, Some Other Guy is a better song than Anna, despite barely listening to him. That's what happens with Beatles fans, is everybody gets immersed in it. Everybody around them. It's infectious. And we don't mind one bit. Thanks, C. I appreciate you sending me a list. Okay, we're gonna switch to that dark blue. Sgt. Pepper's is great. Like, I remember the first time I listened to Sgt. Pepper, my sister and I had rented it. Well, okay, no. First time I ever listened to Sgt. Pepper was when I was like 8 or 9, and my sister's music class was doing something on Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, something like that. Like, and so my parents dug out the album and we listened to it. But then, like, pause for like a few years, and the anthology came out, and then my sister and I became obsessed with the Beatles, and I put that mildly. And then I really listened to it when we rented it from the library. My sister had reserved a copy of the CD, and And I remember it was a rainy day, and I just closed my eyes and listened to it, and it was an amazing experience. And then I listened to it again and again and again and again, like, until she asked for it back. I do say Sgt. Pepper, you think of Dr. Pepper knockoff. I mean, that's the way you say Sgt. Pepper. It is a Dr. Pepper knockoff. Dr. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Yeah, remember when you could rent music from the library? Those were the days. Those were the days, my friend. We thought they never end. Which actually is a Paul McCartney song. But yeah. It was cool because our interlibrary loan was like for all of Washington County in Oregon. And so we got stuff from some odd places. And we could still rent records if they had them. Like if one of the branches hadn't gotten rid of them. So on occasion we'd rent a record and they'd send them through the interlibrary loan. My sister and I would make mixtapes from them, or mixtapes from having recorded the CDs onto cassettes, because cassettes were more easily available, and we didn't have CD burners back in that day, because I'm talking like 94 through 98. And yeah, we would make mixtapes. I don't know if I ever sent you a mixtape, Les. I might have. I know I sent Sybil one or two. It's funny, I recently just found some tapes that we had in storage. And I kept one of them. I kept an actual old Beatles tape that my mom had. Let me see it real quick. I don't remember what it was called. I don't think I ever sent you a mixtape, though. Like, I'm thinking about it. We sent each other letters and all kinds of stuff. This is back in the day when we probably shouldn't have been trusting people over the internet, but, you know. Ah, this is the tape. This is the one I kept. It's, I wonder how that looks. I wonder if you can see it well enough. It's, Beatles rock and roll music. And it's even smeared, but, like, that's how well used this was. This was faded. My sister and I wore the hell out of this tape. But this was the first tape that I remember hearing the Beatles on, and my mom had gotten it, and I kept it because it's a souvenir of my first existential crisis. Long story. Another favorite band of yours, Type O Negative, did a lot of Beatle covers. Day Tripper, if I needed someone back in the USSR. They had a nickname, the Drab Four. I liked Type O Negative. I heard some of their stuff. They did a couple of Black Sabbath covers, too. At least one I know of. I had a neighbor, when I was living in North Dakota, like, across from us. And he was a little younger than Lou and I. And he really enjoyed Type O Negative, and he loaned us... he loaned us the CD so we could, like, rip them and stuff. So I still have MP3s of that. Of the stuff. Yeah, Black Sabbath, from the Black Sabbath song, Black Sabbath, but from the perspective of Satan. Because, like, Lou was a huge fan of Black Sabbath. And, like, it's funny. So, like, that's what sold him on the band, was the fact that they did that, because that was such a neat and interesting song. Like, the reverse. The other side, the devil's side. It's such a neat take on it, though. I actually like early Black Sabbath. I like all the way up until their fourth album, and then after that, not a fan. I don't know why. I just didn't like their stuff after that. But I really like first four albums. They were good. I don't know, I'm pretty eclectic with my music taste, I think. There were some really, really good covers of Beatles stuff over the years, like in different like musical genres. Like Sergio Mendes, who is, you know, very light and wonderful Latin music. Brazil 66 was his like vocalist band, and like they did some Beatles songs. They did Fool on the Hill, and it was really good. Still one of my favorites. They also did Day Tripper. Not one of my favorites, but it's fun. They only did a cover of Hey Joe called Hey Pete. Oh, that's funny. I like bands that are creative like that, though. That's really cool. I'm still listening to the Doors. They're a really interesting band, too. You know, I think I am going to color all these. So I was like, let's do a checkerboard. And then I'm like, no. No, I want this solid, I think. You know what's really fun about doing a stream with an actual camera is like you can show things on there. First year were more explicit. Still good, but kind of left over from Pete Steele's previous band, Carnivore. I was wondering if my hair was showing that it was blowing in the wind, like, on screen, like, but you can't see it. It's funny. They're a bit intense, like uncomfortable intense. I like music that pushes the limits like that. You know, you can kind of feel that in some of the Typo Negative stuff, too. Like, that definitely carries over to some of their works. And honestly, that's what I like about the Doors, is because even still, listening to some of the lyrics, they really push the envelope when it comes to intensity and vulgarity and deep topics. They never did a song called Hitler Jesus, but your guys did. Typo Negative did. I mean, if they could have gotten away with it, I'm probably sure they would. Oh, what coloring rather? I don't know if you can see my hair. I don't know. I think maybe it's a lake. I haven't decided yet. There's a lot of like dark blues in it though. It does look like hair in a way, huh? That's interesting. Kind of looks like feathers too. I don't know. I haven't decided what it is yet. It was fun to draw it though. I have another one that I was thinking of. Yeah, if the doors had done that, all hell would have broken loose. Yeah, damn right. I mean, it was bad enough as it was. Talking about the Oedipus complex with Oedipus Rex. Let's see. There's another one I was going to show. Ah! So this is another one I did recently that I was thinking of coloring, but I'm not sure. I kind of like that it's just green, you know. It's interesting. A lot of my paintings are interesting. Like, this was a watercolor I did for somebody. It was a meditative watercolor. No, wait, it goes this way. And let's see if I have any others in this that I hadn't taken out. No, I think I've taken most of them out of here. I have a place I keep a lot of them. But I liked this one. This one was fun to do, but it was about 6 hours or better. Actually, I want to say it was about 8 hours. There's a lot of blending in this one. Oh, you thought the green one kind of looked like grass, right? I've been doing a series of moons. I'm thinking of like making my own oracle or tarot deck. So I'm doing the 12 moons of the year plus a blue moon. So this was December's cold moon. And then this one was, well, what's this one? This was November's frost moon. I haven't finished this one yet. It still needs like the sparkles. The sparkles are actually really different colors and are actually nail polish. So there's pearlescent and also holographic silver in there. So that way they have some depth to it. Not that you guys need to see all my paintings, but that's a series I'm working on. I did this one yesterday for a friend. It turned into a forest and water with fireflies. And I don't know, it has a lot of significance to me, but it was really pretty. I almost streamed this one, but then I didn't think it was right. But at least you can see the afterwork. I usually don't do I don't do a lot of nature work, so it was, I painted it like this, mind you, like how I painted this one sideways. They always wind up sideways, so as soon as I turned it this way I realized what it was, and then I painted the sky. But yeah. Oh, thanks. I'm glad that you like them. They're different. It's one of my things that I do. It stems from doodling in high school. Well, and everywhere else. Yesterday was a hard day, so I'm glad I had a project to work on. Sometimes you just need projects like that. I have, you know, I've been playing bass a lot lately, but sometimes I need to get out of my head in a different way. think I'm done with blues. Let's bring some green into this. You need to pick up the drums again. You have a drum set, Ronnie. No! Please pick up the drums again. We need more drummers in the world. Trust me on that. It has been so hard. My band actually may get a drummer. He gave us the songs finally that he wants to do. So we've got 5 to focus on to make sure that we get them like to our liking. Because, I mean, there's always fuck ups when you do live music, but I know like there's a couple parts I definitely need to work on every song. Fort Minor. I'm glad that you found the band. Drums help you focus a lot. Drum solos really focus you. See, and that's how I feel about like bass and guitar. I'll lay off bass more often lately, but I've been playing more bass lately. Like, it helps me de-stress, and that's what it should do. Yeah, we might actually have a drummer. It's the one that was going to audition for us, like, back when I auditioned for them, but he kind of flaked out. So, but, like, our rhythm guitarist had, like, well, I should say second guitarist, really, because he solos and does all kinds of shit. So our second guitarist had kept in touch with him, and they became friendly, and so, like, he convinced him to, like, actually, you know, give us a shot and stuff. So this 5 songs that we have Rhinoceros by Smashing Pumpkins. These are all Smashing Pumpkins songs, by the way. Rhinoceros, which was from their first album. No, second album? I forget which. And then we get Cherub Rock. And then the rest are from Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. So there's Zero and Bullet with Butterfly Wings, and then 1979. So those are the ones that, not this weekend because 4th of July weekend, but the weekend after, we'll be hopefully rocking out with a drummer and seeing how it works. We did have a drummer like come and hang with us like one weekend. That was a friend of the lead guitarist, and we thought that would have gone somewhere, but I think the catalog was too intimidating for him, because like even this guy who's, you know, drums a hell of a lot was like, whoa, what do you mean 29 songs? Yeah, you remember me fighting with Cherub Rock on stream? Yeah, I'm a lot better now with that one. That one is complicated. I have to say I've gotten a lot better at bass, which has made me a lot better at guitar too, just because I play differently. But I am forgetting how to guitar, which is funny, because every week our lead guitarist brings in a new guitar. I kind of like dared him to, because he has a collection of guitars, because he's a music instructor, right? But he's also a nerd with like more money than he knows what to do with. So he buys himself guitars and collects guitars and trades guitars and sells guitars, and, you know, that's just kind of like his other hobby, other than actually making music, is to pick up new guitars. So, long story short, he brings in a new guitar every week, because I kind of dared him to. But he always asks if I want to play it, and I'm always like, no. I gotta check it out, because it's like, at this point I've been playing bass so much that I'm like, I don't remember how to guitar. And it's really funny when either of them hand me a guitar to hold for a second, you know, like, because they're needing to go grab something from the other room or something, and it's like, it's so fucking light, I I can't explain, but like it's so much lighter, guitars are, and they feel so much smaller because I've been playing this bass for so long. Thanks for saying I did well with Bullet with Butterfly Wings. I'm still really good at that one too, luckily. Like, that one's comfortable. Damascus accents for some of his guitars. That would be so cool. So, in case neither of you know, Z is a smith. Like, blacksmith. And does some amazing stuff. So if you ever need a knife or a ceremonial piece, or a ceremonial knife for that matter, Z does take commissions. It would be really cool to have like Damascus steel accents. Oh, so the latest dare to our lead guitarist I did, and I call these dares in jest, mainly, basically, kind of. He was talking about how he really likes, you know, this from this guitar, and all this and that. And he was like, you know, maybe one of these days I should just, you know, sell like 3 or 4 of my guitars and get one built by the custom shop, Fender's custom shop, and get what he likes. And I'm like, if you have all these little fine details that you've been thinking of and matter so much to you, you really should. So I don't know if he's actually going to do it, but I hope he does. Because he's very particular. And I don't blame him, because he knows how to use his equipment. He can certainly be as particular as he likes. Yeah, you remember from before, you mentioned your drawing instructor, Hats Forged. Yeah, I remember that. Fire, metal, and sweat and blood is the craft of the smith, bringing glory to metal and gold to all, to steal some lines from when the hammer falls. Yeah. You send pictures to me. Yeah, that would be cool. I'd appreciate that. I can put them up on stream real quick. If you want to toss them in Discord, if you have that open. If not, Facebook totally works. It's just going to take me a moment. Big Vic, whatever. I knew what you meant. At first I saw Bic and I was thinking lighters, and then I read the sentence, because that's what caught my eye first. It was kind of funny. Yeah, I think you should bite the bullet on that guitar too, because he's very particular. And I asked him, I'm like, well, how sad would you be if you sold those guitars? And he's like, this one, he said, I would be, you know, super sad. But at the same time, I'm getting what that one has, and it's in the same color as that one, so I don't think the sadness will last for that long. And I don't know. That's kind of the question I would ask, is like, how sad would you be if you traded something in and couldn't ever find it again? Your next piece, you'll send progress of it as well. That would be cool. Thank you. Appreciate that. I mean, because, like, honestly, I've been sad that I don't have the bass that I had when I was in high school, because my dad had gotten us a bass, and it was just a Fender P bass, white, but it was so nice. I liked it, but he sold it along with my my Marshall half stack in order to get me the Fender Blues Deluxe that I have, which I love. I love that amp. That amp just, the sound is amazing. It's my favorite. But I still miss my Marshall half stack, and I still miss that goddamn bass. It's funny. Which I think he would crack up about. I do know for a fact, though, that I think my dad would have bought me another bass at some point. What do you want for Christmas, Vic? A bass? Because I did say to him when I was 17 or so, and I had just gotten my Stevie, my electric guitar that year. My dad asked me that Christmas, so what do you want for Christmas? I'm like, another electric guitar. It was so funny. Needless to say, I still have that second guitar too. There's just something about things you love and love playing. You know, you can't get enough of them. You know, especially with instruments and like even drum sets, like they're so different. Each one has a different tone. Each one has different like feel to them. And then some drummers, you know, they don't change sets at all because they just love their kit. And it's like, good on you. Just like some guitarists never change from a different guitar or from one guitar. Like they keep the same guitar because they love that guitar. Basses can be a bit like that too, but I think they're a lot more flexible. Forgot about a nickname you had for a friend who had my name. Always called her V. Yeah, V is pretty cool. I haven't gone by V though. I don't think I would. I had a friend named V, so that kind of like sticks with her. Your drums need a ton of tuning. You didn't understand all that when you did drumming in high school. Not a lot of people understand that, even like as they get older. Okay, it's funny to see like my character's head tilt and like my elbow here because I'm leaning on my arm, but like she's not. She's just like tilting your head to the side. You digress and you think swordfish would look awesome with Damascus pieces on it. It totally would. I do like swordfish. Like that bass is super fun. It's red and black. It's not an expensive bass though. I would want to put that on a better crafted instrument. Like that bass was, I think it goes for about 200 now if I remember right. At the time I bought it on a sale and this was years back, so it was only $89. What I really want is I want a Rickenbacker bass. I want a Rickenbacker 4001 so badly. I feel like the kid in A Christmas Story who's like, I want a Red Ryder rifle, you know? He talks about it. It's like me. I want a Rickenbacker 4001 from the 1970s. Or if that's not possible, the 1980s, early 1980s. And I want it in blue. That's a fucking tall order. I think I heard Z send me some photos, so we shall see. Indeed. Okay, so that's a lot of photos. So let's see. We're gonna look at this really cool hilt he did. Look at that. That thing's cool. That's really nice work. That's really pretty. And then what else we got? This one looks like it's in various states. Yeah? Ooh, that one's much bigger than the other one. Hold on a second. Let me Let me turn that one off. Hold on. There we go. Oh, that one's cool. So, was that when you first started shaping it? And then I take it this one is the same knife, but much, much later, yeah? I like how these are various size photos. This one looks like made from a leaf spring section. Interesting. That looks sharp. Oh, that's a big knife. Hold on, hold on. Look how big this knife is. Now, Z, mind you, is 6'2", 6'3". So, like, dude's probably got huge palms. So that's a big knife. It's actually on the smaller end. Yeah, for you, bud. Thank you for sharing those. It's a lot of fun. I like that I can, like, just show people stuff. That's a fun thing about streaming things. You'll have to give us an updated bit about your work sometime, Z. That was definitely fun to watch and see some of it. Still needs sharpening. Oh, no worries. You don't have to do that. It's like, what, 11:45 there? That's late. But it's a pleasure seeing your work. Thank you, sir. So, I don't know. Do we think this is... Do we think this is more hills kind of looking? Like with a valley over here, maybe? And maybe a lake? I'm not sure yet. Maybe mountains. Maybe it will pop out of the sky from some of this. I should maybe throw some yellow in here. Just as like highlights. You know, like a field of green. Because not everything is green and lush. Maybe I should throw some blues over here too. Like maybe a green over a blue. So that way we can make some more dark. Almost forestry. I don't know. That's kind of the nice thing about like my odd workings when it comes to art is I don't know what they are until much later. Or like in the middle of something. And then I realize what it is. Hopefully everybody's having a really nice night though. And hopefully it's been cooling down. I have a feeling it's going to be a very hot summer for everybody. There's already a wildfire, and that's pretty bad in Oregon from what I understand. So here's to hoping that we don't get many wildfires this year. Oregon's always on fire, right? The heat makes you want to go to the beach. I know that feel. So when I was visiting my friend Cecilia, I got to go to the Jersey Shore, and it was really, really, really nice. I enjoyed it. We went to Brickington Beach, I think it was. It was north of Atlantic City. Really, really nice. Very much the locals, very not fast-paced, very much not Las Vegas-y that Atlantic City is. And we got to see a couple boardwalks, and that was really nice too. It was in the first week of April, so everything was still pretty much closed, but I did get shore pizza, and damn, shore pizza is really good. We've been twice last week with family, but you want to go with Natalie? I know! I imagine you do, considering that's a fun thing about crushes. Is getting to spend time with them. I hope you get to spend lots of time with Natalie. You sent me pictures of the blade's current state. Oh, that's cool. Okay, y'all are gonna get to see this. This is cool. This picture's huge. See, it's gonna come up. Yeah, enormous. Enormous. Hold on a second. Hold on. We have a very professional stream here. Look at this. There we go. That's a cool knife. That's a really cool knife. Oh, Natalie's really cute in a bikini. Wow. That's fun. That's cool. Thanks for sharing that, Z. That's neat. It gives you confidence to wear one too. Oh, that's sweet. I'm not necessarily brave enough to wear a bikini, like a bikini. I have a two-piece swimsuit though, so it's like a long line bikini top, and then the bottom is like a skirt, but like not. It's like, it looks like a sari wrap basically, and you actually get to tie it on the side. And then it's got, like, you know, bathing suit underwear under it. So it looks kind of cool. But it's, I don't know, it's pretty. It's definitely the first two-piece I've worn since I was, well, actually, the first two-piece I've worn. Because my other, when I was a young teen, I had a hooked bikini, as they called it, which was like a connected two-piece that had like a belly and back cutout, basically. You're so pale. You'd blind people if it weren't for all the hair that you got. You know, see, have you seen how white I am? Like, look at this compared to that. That's pretty damn close. Actually, look, I'm actually the color that my girl is. Like, that doesn't usually happen. Like, I'm the same color as my cat girl icon. This is me with a tan, by the way. I've gotten tan striving, so yeah. Whether or not you blind people, it doesn't matter. You should still go out and enjoy yourself. So the bikini covers most of your chest, but not the belly. Yeah, bathing suits can be difficult, I know. Z's a goddamn yeti. Well, I mean, everybody has hair. That's like the hardest thing. Is like realizing people have hair and it's okay to have hair in bathing suits. and, you know, swim trunks and stuff like that. Riders on the Storm just came on. I fucking love this song. Yeah, dresses can be hard at first too, until you get a little more curves, but dresses are really difficult no matter if you're trans or cis. I tell you what. You accept that you're fuzzy. I get that, Z. I'm glad that Natalie puts you at ease. That's the kind of, you know, thing that makes crushes and people you really care about difficult, is like being able to know that, you know, you're secure in that they bring you that comfort. Like, that's difficult sometimes, like having that security feeling from somebody, because it makes you want it all the time, and it's hard to deal with. And it can be addictive, because who doesn't want to feel safe and secure? And it's such a rare feeling for anybody. You know, especially when they're wonderfully supportive, like I'm sure Natalie is. It can be really hard. Especially if they don't want to take it a step further. Like, I've had that before with crushes, and it can be tough. So, yeah, and how happy you get when you're around them. I know that feeling. Like, but that's also kind of what's the fun part of having a crush and being in love, is realizing that you are. Like, that's neat, I think. Like, realizing how happy somebody makes you just by virtue of them being them and you being you. It's a beautiful thing. And they, yeah, you're in a weird gray area where they keep using the word friend. Yeah, that's tough. Especially if there haven't been any confessions of love. But it's worse when there has been. Love is hard. Love is weird and wonderful. You know, enjoy that feeling when you're around them. You know, try not to hang any attachments or expectations, but enjoy it. Chloe says you shouldn't worry because she said that to her girlfriend for months before they started dating. You cuddle, and then they'll randomly hold your hand. Oh my goodness! See? You know, a person doesn't really get comfortable around a person and call them a friend if they hold I don't know, holding hands I think is such an intimate thing. Maybe I'm a little old-fashioned on that, but you know, I think it is. And before they even said that they missed cuddling you. See? Yeah. Z's next project is a Norse sea axe from an old neighbor, and then Sauce wants a ritual blade. I didn't know Sauce was kind of into that stuff. You're gonna work on a personal project as well. That's amazing. Z, when I'm rich and famous, I definitely need to commission stuff from you. But I'm poor and obscure. Like, even feeling their head on your shoulder is really great. Oh my goodness, that is so fucking sweet. No, no, don't worry about rambling. I love people in love. Like, I love to hear that people have these feelings for other people, because I don't know, it helps me process my own emotions a bit, but also gives me hope. Like, there are people out there in love. It's not all hard out there. It's not just all this terribleness that's been going on. There's some happy, wonderful moments, like people being in love. You're looking forward to kayaking. Ah, you're actually gonna get to go kayaking. That's awesome. I haven't been kayaking in a long time. I was supposed to go on my trip, but the water was just too damn cold. And I'm probably not going to have another vacation until next year because I've used all my vacation days. Oh, the virtues of being ill. I went through any vacation day I accrue this year. You've never been kayaking and you swim like a rock. That's... Well, hopefully you won't need to do too much swimming. I mean, growing up in Oregon, we swam all the time. We had like, and what is it? Like a unit in PE. Like every year we would go to the local swim center at the high school from like 3rd grade onward. So like we always had swimming every year. And before that, my mom actually got us private swimming lessons when we were really little, so that way we wouldn't fall into a creek and drown, because there's creeks and rivers abounding. And my great grandpa had one right across from his farm, and so we'd go inner tubing there when I was really little during the summer. It was fun. Yeah, I have an immense fear of drowning as a kid. I am so sorry about that. Hopefully, you know, you've overcome that, because that can be really terrible and paralyzing when it comes to fears from childhood. I know for me, like, I've actually almost drowned twice because of the ocean. The undertow swept me out to sea both times. But it luckily wasn't that far, and someone was able to grab me. So I hope, I mean, that's kind of like the thing is, let's see how bright, oh wow, that is a bright yellow. Look at that. We're on like Green Bay Packer colors right now. Let's see what it does if I put green over it. That is so, so, so bright. Look at that. Did that change it much? Let's see how it looks compared to the other green. No, it's not worth it. That's a really bright yellow. It makes you think of corn. Let's try this light blue a little. Oh yeah, look at that, look at that. That's gonna be nice. Okay, cool. It turns out kind of a dark turquoise. We're using that. It's almost a forest green. Sweet deal. Also, one thing I miss about being in the Midwest is I really liked seeing all that corn. Up until, like, you know, it was... absolutely miles and miles and miles and miles and miles of it, and I got car sick. Other than that, I really, really liked seeing all the... There was also sunflowers. They had a lot of sunflowers where I was in North Dakota, along with the corn. I missed going to, like, test plots of corn and, like, getting free corn because they were just a test plot. Like, that was neat. I liked that. Free corn is always good. Nothing like free corn. Natalie teases you because they say that you live in the South because of how many farms are around you. You know, I wouldn't expect there would be that many farms, but it sounds like you're in a really rural area, so there are lots. And I don't know, maybe it's because I have lived in the Midwest. Like, I know how it can get from, like, city to country real quick. Like, just visiting my sister, who has been, like, she's lived in Indiana and she's lived in Wisconsin at different points in her life because of college. But, like, just driving from North Dakota to either of those places was like, whoa, city. And then, like, whoa, we're back in country. Oh, the Amish. That's interesting. They had Mennonites where we were in the Midwest. Like, all around that area there were, like, Mennonite places. They're similar. Oh, your friend Olive lives in Indiana. That's cool. My sister was south of Indianapolis. So... I did take the train once from Fargo to my sister in Indianapolis, and that was cool because I got to go through Chicago and also the Wisconsin Dells. The Dells were really cool. They were kind of like the Dells. See, the Wisconsin Dells were kind of like the Dells. I find that hilarious now that I'm thinking back, because the Dells in Oregon are mountainous and watery, and that was kind of like the Wisconsin Dells, D-E-L-L-S instead of D-A-L-L-S, and it's a like a little vacation-y spot. It's funny. Bombastus VT, hey, how's it going with you? The VTuber model just finished. Nice. Congratulations on that. It's been a while. So when's your debut? I want to know when your debut is. Yeah, you did. I know it's you know what. I think you're the only person that's called me, buddy. It took me a moment there, but then you mentioned your VTuber model, and then I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, you're like, oh, okay. Same deal, right? It's nice to see you, though. Yeah, like, nobody calls me buddy. It's charming, though. I don't mind it at all. I'm just reminded of that, like, South Park sketch where they're like, don't call me buddy, pal, or whatever it was. It's nice to see you, though. But yeah, tell us when your VTuber debut is, or have you already done it? Like, with your new model and stuff. You don't know when your debut is, but you still have to fix things around on Twitch page. Then you need a slideshow. A slideshow? Why do we need a slideshow, Noah? It's not gonna happen for a while. Aww. Well, I'm glad that they've gotten all the work done when it comes to all the... Because I know, like, you're doing live 2D, right? So that's a lot of artwork. Slideshows and introduction. Oh, that's cool. That'll be really neat. Let's get some more of this dark and green in. I'm glad this light blue blends really well. Let's see, like, howdy, I'm Vombastus. I'm a wombat. Wombats love to twerk their predators to death. Oh my god. That's gonna be so amazing. I can't wait. I will definitely catch the replay if I don't get to see it live, because that sounds hysterical. I wonder. Okay, let's try this. And see if we can blend this with one of the greens. This is gonna need a little moment to try though. Wombat. That's just such a cool thing. Okay, let's try this. Oh! That's darker. I like it. Okay, cool. And it's a little more emerald. We will use that. We'll go with this for a little bit here. Well, hopefully you've been doing well otherwise. Like, that's gonna be super exciting, getting all your stuff together for your channel. I've thought about doing another VTuber model, but I think what I'm gonna do is eventually make my own live 2D model so that it's not 3D, but it's 2D and it's prettier. Cause like, as much as I enjoy the 3D with what's it called, V-Roid Studio. As much as I love V-Roid Studio's models and modeling, I do think that that live TV allows for better artistry, and I like having pretty things. So someday I'll draw my own 2D model and rig it. I mean, because I already have a 3D model, so I can just use that as a base in the sense of like how to construct it and what the face looks like and stuff. I appreciate you saying it's very pretty. I didn't do much of anything with it other than like construct the face. Okay, and then I did the hair. Like I made the hair. Also made the clothing. Yeah, okay. So I did a lot of work on it, but at the same time, because yeah, I did do the I did do the skin. I did the the face skin. I did the eyes, and I did all the eye highlights and everything. And oh, okay. I did more work than I thought I did on this. Now that I'm thinking about it, when I think about like piecing it together, a live 2D model is going to be a lot of work, which is why I think it's going to be fun. Because I love art projects. Thanks, I appreciate you saying that I'm amazing, and I do tend to undersell my stuff. Because I mean, like, I drew this, and now I'm coloring it, and it just looks like I'm coloring book art, huh? But I've done this over the last 3 days, and I'm getting to ink it now. I don't know. I just don't consider art as like one of my main things. Maybe that's why I undersell myself a bit. Like, the stuff I do, I expect other people to be able to do. Like, this isn't much of anything kind of deal. But I think you're right. I think I undersell my stuff. And I just undersell myself a bit. But I appreciate the compliments either way. There's a lot of hours involved with stuff. Like, regardless of if it turns out good or bad, there's always time and effort. It was fun drawing this, though. Like, in the sense of, like, it's been really relaxing and has, you know, helped de-stress me a lot. I think it looks nice, too. Like, eventually it's gonna go this direction, I believe. I think, maybe. I haven't decided yet. I actually drew it this way, though. I just don't know if I want to keep it like that. This way just doesn't feel right, because it just feels like piles of leaves. But this way has more dynamics, because there's a lot more, like, feeling of, I don't know, waves or something. It's just one of those things, though. Like, I'm enjoying my little art jags. The other thing is it's helping me test my migraine glasses. Like, that makes me happy, because it's like I'm having to go back to work, you know, not too long from now, and part of the things that may be affecting and causing migraines are, you know, the lights itself. So these are my glasses. They have like the special migraine tinting to them, so I really don't see these colors, but you kind of get used to it, just so you know. They look a lot less bright, but it's a lot of these live streams, since they have bright lighting, and then also the monitors, and I do them for multiple hours. It's a good way for me to test whether that these glasses are working well. I appreciate that, Noah. I deserve to appreciate myself. Damn right. I need to do that more often. My therapist was actually talking to me about that this week. Learning gratitude, like, for the self. But I'm also grateful for, like, that I have supportive friends and supportive acquaintances, you know, and friends that are deep friendships and friends that are lighter friendships, you know, people that I see only so often that are wonderful, but, you know, we don't have time or inclination or spoons, and I only get to see them a little bit. It's still really wonderful to have them around. Look at me, I'm sounding pretty sappy. I must be getting tired. I swear. But I mean it though. Like, it's wonderful that people, like, for instance, people dropping by on my stream. I haven't talked to you in a long time, Noah. Like, it's nice that you're here. And then my friend Z and my friend Les and then my friend Josie dropped by tonight. And that's been really nice having their company and chatting a lot. I appreciate that, Josie. I don't know, I get sappy, like, when I'm tired, so you'll have to excuse me and my sappiness right now. I wonder what this looks like with the blue on top. Oh, okay, that looks better. Look at that. Look at that. We like this. And it's honestly easier to color, too. Ooh, I wonder what... Look at that. Oh, that's more of a sea green. Look at that. Oh, I love that color. Look at that. I feel like Bob Ross now. I'm like, look at that happy little color. Happy little trees. These are happy little waves. It's relaxing. I appreciate that you think it's relaxing, Josie. It's relaxing just chatting with people and doing some art. And since they're people that I like and care about, that's even better. I get to reconnect with people. Then we can just go off on topics, which is fun too. Let's make this one more that sea green color. So this is the reason that I like watercolor paper for ink work, is because of the way the ink can sit in there, and I don't have to worry about it like going through anything or being any like smearing issues. None of that crap happens because it's used to wet pigment. Then the other thing is it I do watercolors, so between the two, it's a very all-purpose type of paper for me. This notebook actually was something that my dad had because he got bored. He was retired, like, for the last few years of his life. So he got bored. So he picked up watercoloring a little bit, which was kind of cute. He got more into his model shipbuilding. They were really cool. You can actually sail them. They were sailboats that had like a motorized rudder, in the sense of like, it did have RC, but it was like literally to turn the rudder left and right and then change the sails, like pull them in and out. So he was actually sailing a boat with like, you know, 2 joysticks, but using the wind. It wasn't motorized otherwise. So sometimes he'd get them stuck somewhere and he'd have to go chase them and get them out from where they were because he couldn't get it. Because he can't back up. I mean, it's a sailboat. But he loved building them, though. That was so fun to watch his projects. Like, he would steam wooden beams for the hole. Like, he planked it, and he did like the whole hole. They were wood. I have one. My sister has one. My mom has one. And then we gave a couple to some of his friends, which is cool. But yeah, one morning I came out into the kitchen and I see this pot boiling, and I look in and it had wood in it, and I'm like, what the hell? I smell cedar, like, and I'm looking in there, I'm like, what the hell is this? Groggy as all get out. Grab my cup of coffee, go out to the garage where my dad was hanging out, because he always did that, and we had a smoke, because I used to smoke in those days. And I'm like, so what's the deal with the pot with the wood? And he's like, oh, today I'm building the hull. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, I'm steaming the beams. You have to boil them first to get them, permeated, and then you bend them with like clamps and all kinds of shit, and it was like amazing work. My dad did some amazing work. He loved like to woodwork. That was his thing. You know what? Okay, this is funny. Like, I'm kind of an astrology nut, so I have like a lot of knowledge about various astrology systems. And Chinese astrology, my dad was the year of the dog, but he was the year of the wood dog. I think that's really funny now that I'm thinking about it. I never really thought about that. I'm year of the water dog. I do love water so much too. Astrology is an interesting thing. But, astrology is made up and the signs don't matter, as I always say. Golden dragon. You're the dragon? Z, that is incredible, because I usually hate people who are year the dragon. I've never met a dragon that I liked up until now. How weird. Like, I've had bad experiences with year the dragon, but then again, they were a year of the dragon that was older than you. Like, so it would have been like the dragon before, like the dragon from like the late 70s. So, different like vibes, because there's like water and steel and stuff like that. Dragon and Scorpio, they balance each other. I mean, that could very well be. Yeah, so the dragon I had the most experience with was one of my roommates named Ray, and she was a dragon, and she was also an Aries on top of it, and oof, she was something else. Like, roommate in college, so this was like 2001. Not to like announce my age or anything. Class of 2000, go! Well, I guess I have finally met a dragon that I liked. And it's so funny because I had such a thing for dragons as a kid. Like, how people are like, oh, I was a horse girl, or I liked, this or that. I was the girl who liked dragons. A lot. In fact, so much that my sister gave me this necklace. When I was about probably 14 or 15. The crystal's been replaced on it. Long story, but lost the crystal, found the crystal, but a friend of mine replaced the crystal in between that time. It's an amethyst, and the other one was an amethyst too. Dragon's Phoenix. You also enjoy various mythical wolves. That's cool. I think phoenixes are really neat, and they actually are symbology for Scorpio. Like, they're very interrelated. Like, in a lot of astrology circles, they're kind of known as the final form of Scorpio, is to move into the energy of a phoenix, the death and rebirth, because of the associations with Pluto and Mars. Yeah, I was gonna say, aren't you a Scorpio too, Josie? Less if she's still here. Or, pardon, less if they are still here. They are a Leo, which is super fun. It's funny, I looked at my calendar, and in July I have like 8 friends and family that it's their birthday. Everybody's a fucking Cancer. Why are some Scorpios are also why some Scorpios are grumpy too? Yeah, that's true. Brother and grandfather and uncle are all Scorpios. Obviously your brother is... Oh, you're twin! Josie, how did I not remember that you were a twin? Maybe it never came up in conversation. I didn't know that. That's awesome. It's kind of funny, though. I do have, like, more Scorpios in my life than I thought I ever would. Not that that's bad or anything. It's not. I like Scorpios, and I like their energy. It's just interesting, because y'all lurk. Yeah, I don't think you ever mentioned that you're a twin. That's cool. Obviously, I like Cancer energy too, because, like, I have so many Cancerian friends and family. My dad was a Cancer. My grandma was a Cancer. One of my aunts is a Cancer. I have friends that are Cancers. It's like, I had a boss who was my favorite boss ever. She was a Cancer. My friend Jess in North Dakota is a Cancer. Love her to death. They're just, I don't know, they're good people. Like, Scorpios are good people. You just gotta, like, not be a dick to them. And understand they're gonna be blunt, which I love bluntness. Like, I like bluntness and honesty. That's kind of the best thing. Then again, I'm not really a typical Aries. So... I usually don't get along with Aries. And then there's some that I do. Like our lead guitarist. He was born on April Fool's Day. He's also a twin, come to find out. Which is kind of funny. I was supposed to be born on April Fool's Day also, though. So maybe I vibe because we were supposed to have the same birthday. I don't know. He's a funny guy, though. Really good humor. Really nice. Super patient. He's the one that does the, he's the guitar instructor. So you gotta be patient when you have students and all that. But yeah. You know, the people that I generally don't get along with, it's like I don't get along well with Tauruses much too often. Sometimes I do, but often not. Virgos I really like. I've had 2 exes that were Virgos. I think it's because, like, I understand, like, the nerdiness. There's a lot of nerdy Virgos. I don't know, Capricorns, not a huge fan, but there are some really cool ones, and I dig that. I don't know, I like all kinds of people, though. Astrology is made up and signs don't matter anyway. It really matters what value we assign to them instead. This is turning out kind of neat. I like this. This is cool. I thought I heard something funny, but then I realized it was my song. I'm getting kind of sleepy. I might head to bed in about 10 minutes or so, I think. Make this a 3-hour stream. That would be cool. I don't know. It depends on if I get into a thing or not. I'm gonna use a hell of a lot of the screen. I really like this screen though. This one's nice. Okay, let's get back to this screen, because we haven't really used much of this screen at all now. I think it's finally starting to cool off a little outside. It may not be over 100 degrees. It may be in the 90s finally. That would be so nice. That's the worst thing about the desert nights, is that they stay hot. And then it compounds the next day. So it just kind of builds and builds until it gets incredibly hot. And by then, the seasons finally change. And it's September. By October, we're back to 80s. I imagine 80 degrees in October sounds really nice to a lot of people. And it sounds nice to me too. It would have been a hot summer. And that would have been final relief. Like, I hate complaining about the weather all the time because I feel like I talk about the weather incredibly much. But it's like a tangible presence when it's so extreme, you know? And it is an extreme weather here in the Southwest Desert. And especially since I think I have such fond memories of my childhood in Oregon, like the fog in mountains and the way it clings, and that it wasn't actually fog, it was clouds that were just low, you know, or the dew on the grass in early spring and the low-lying mist over graveyards, or the sunny skies of summer, and the smell of plum blossoms in the air. I have such fun memories. So, living in a place that is very distant in both temperature but also vegetation is so sparse here. It's just, it feels extreme. And then you add in 120-degree weather that we will surely get this year, because it reached that last year. And weather feels like a presence in your life. When I lived up in Yucca Valley, it was over by Joshua Tree National Forest, and it is a high desert. It is not that hot. It's not this hot, I should say. It is hot, though. It is a prettier desert. There was more vegetation and more wildlife. California has some really pretty desert areas, though. I think where I miss the most in California, I should say in Southern California, is actually Long Beach and Santa Monica and the ocean. It's a different ocean feeling than in Northern California or even Central. Heck, like Santa Barbara feels way different. San Francisco feels way different. But I miss the Southern California coast. Even though the water was cold, like, and the water stays cold all the way down to like San Diego. It's a really pretty beach. I kind of miss Los Angeles for that reason. I don't miss the expensive rent, but it's expensive anywhere. I don't miss the freeways. They always felt strange. Freeways were weird liminal places. Especially the ones going out to the desert. Like, I think it was 51 maybe, I forget. But you come into like Palm Springs, and beforehand there's not much between in the Inland Empire, and they call it that. And I don't know, in some places it felt like they were haunted in a way. There was this rest stop from LA to Palm Springs. It was closer to, I want to say, like Calamasa. And I got out there one night because we had been driving to my parents' place up in Yucca Valley, and it was me, my ex-fiance when we were first dating, and then his roommate, which was a good friend of ours, and his best friend. They're still best friends. It felt like at that rest stop It was just a little hole in the wall one, in the sense of like it was one building and a street lamp, and it looked out into the prairie, because it is very much prairie lands there, like through some of that part of California, and it felt haunted. Like there had been something there that wasn't supposed to be there. Like there was a wagon train that had stopped and lost its way, and they died there. You can imagine all these scenarios, you know? Some 20-something in the middle of the desert, prairie lands right before it, in the middle of the night at 2 a.m. because it's the only way you'd make good time out of LA. Just thinking of these odd scenarios as they're driving by, because they're not doing the driving, their mind is wandering. I don't know though, there are some strange feelings around Los Angeles. When I was in Santa Monica, looking out from the pier, it didn't feel right. And in fact, standing on the beach north of the pier, looking out into the little bit of the bay, it was like you can imagine like old 3-masted ships, you know, with sails unfurled, on fire and sinking, while horses are thrown off screaming in the night. Whatever payload they had being dumped into the sea as they tried to bail out and swim for their lives to shore. Santa Monica was beautiful at night, but it was also very frightening. Come to find out, when that old hokey divination method of like tapping into the power of ley lines and whatnot, they did a survey of California, of course, because gold rush, and it was really popular then. A ley line goes straight down the pier in Santa Monica. Ley lines were supposed to be sources of power, and strange things happen around them. It is a nice pier, especially in the daytime. I loved going there in the daytime. It was beautiful. It was fun. They had like the bubblegum shrimp place. I actually had lunch there as a date. It was a really nice date. Got to go skee ball. Absolutely petrified of the, what's it called? The Ferris wheel. Here I do the motion. That's when I learned that I really do have a fear of heights. You went there 2 years ago now. You think, oh, that's wonderful. I'm glad that it's still beautiful. My favorite was going at night, though. So, in college, I lived in Hollywood, and you would just take Sunset Boulevard from Hollywood all the way down to the sea, and it dumps right at the Santa Monica Pier. Like, literally, like, the end of it is the parking lot of Santa Monica Pier. So as college students, we'd go down there at night, when we're not supposed to go there, of course, but we'd all be awake. It's a beautiful beach at the night. Oh, your mom had family there. That's wonderful. Like, there's really nice areas down there, like Brentwood and stuff like that, on the way down. And of course, Venice Beach, which is just south. It's funny that I'm thinking on this, though, because I'm listening to The Doors, and Jim Morrison used to sleep under the Santa Monica Pier when he was wandering homeless between college semesters in the summer. And that's where he met Ray Manzarek, the keyboardist. They both were in film school together at UCLA and had known each other there. And Ray was like, you know, me and my girlfriend have a place in Venice. Why don't you come stay with us, sleep on a roof or something? And so Jim went and stayed with Ray, and they eventually started a band using Jim's poetry, which he wrote, a lot of it at the Santa Monica Pier and Venice Beach. He did all the touristy stuff. Disneyland, Universal. Yep, the Universal City Walk. We'd go to that a lot too because it was nearby. Like, we were downtown Hollywood. Like, our school was on Hollywood Boulevard. Hollywood and Highland was like the next big intersection. It was a little intersection beforehand. There's the Musicians Institute there. It's right by this, it's right behind the Scientology building. Not the big Scientology building, the one with the marquee out front. That was an old theater. But yeah, so like in college, I mean, I would walk down from my apartment down Hollywood Boulevard to go to school. So it was always interesting. Always something new. And they were building Hollywood and Highland, that big mall, at the time. Most interesting highlight was telling an Uber driver to go to Forest Lawn in Glendale. Oh, and by the way, we want to go see a cemetery. My grandmother and grandfather are buried at Forest Lawn. It's a big cemetery. Mostly because, oh, Hollywood Graveyard. Yeah, like, there's a lot of famous people buried there. It's a nice place. I got to visit my grandmother once. I never got to meet my grandmother, so it was good to go. I don't really remember too much though, because I was very, very young when we went. Yeah, the place is huge. It was designed for that reason. Hollywood Forever would have been better. I bet, like, if you were walking it, like, I remember we drove out to the plot and parked nearby, kind of deal. My dad's family, like, he grew up in Monrovia, which is over by Glendale and over by Pasadena. It's like right next door to Pasadena. Actually, I have a friend who's in Glendale. Let's see. Hollywood Forever gives tours. That's where one of the urns of your favorite singers, Ross Williams, is. Oh, neato. You'd enjoy walking around old cemeteries in New Orleans. Those would be interesting. I have to say, New Orleans, that would be super interesting. I am actually not good with graveyards at all. I have a really hard time in most graveyards or going by graveyards. They give me weird feelings. It was weird being on the East Coast because, like, the graveyards felt so old. Because they are. It felt really different. I imagine New Orleans would feel the same. Ross Williams is big in San Francisco death rock scene, and also pretty queer. That's cool. So when I was in New York, though, I did get to go to the Strawberry Fields little mural in Central Park, where Yoko dedicated that to her husband John Lennon. And then I got to walk by the Dakota, which is where he was shot, which was interesting. People die in such strange ways. I think if there was a graveyard I want to go to, it would be that cemetery in Paris that has like a whole bunch of famous rock singers such as Jim Morrison. But it also has like famous philosophers and stuff like that in it, which would be interesting. I don't know. I don't do real well with like graveyards though, just because they give me the heebie-jeebies. So like middle school, on the way to our middle school, there was a graveyard that we'd always pass. It was a pioneer cemetery, like literally pioneers, like, you know, 1850s, 1830s, like really old. Always freaked the hell out of me whenever we'd go by it. Didn't matter if I was in a bus, a limousine, or or a regular car. Freaked the shit out of me. Hold my breath every time. There's a Civil War cemetery near you. Oh, that must be weird. You know, the only cemetery that didn't give me the heebie-jeebies that much was the one that my cousin Colby is buried in. There's a cemetery that's in Lincoln City that overlooks the ocean. And I went and visited him last September when I was in Lincoln City. And it was really nice. It was really nice. It felt pretty free. It didn't feel like anything was hanging around so much, which is good. That was a strange trip, and I loved it. You helped clean it with the history club in high school. See, that's really neat. They keep the cemetery that my cousin's buried in really well kept, because like they do a haunted Lincoln City tour, like a history tour at night during October. But the Historical Society also does really good job, because it's a historic cemetery. It's like the Polk Cemetery or something like that. I forget what, but it's a pioneer cemetery too. Maybe. I'm freaked out by that kind of stuff pretty easily though. Like, as much as I am into the occult and that area of study, ghosts and shit freak me the hell out. And graveyards are something that I don't do well with. I have a hard time with a lot of things like that. I have a hard time with hospitals for the very same reason. I do not like them. They freak me the hell out. And so many people dying over years and years. You definitely get that in nursing homes. Yeah. Nursing homes, depending on, I mean, yeah, they freak me out. Sometimes I saw somebody pass on in a nursing home once, and that was not an experience I'd like to repeat. It was peaceful and everything. It's just other reasons. That kind of thing freaks me out. I don't do well with death. Maybe it's because I don't ever intend to die. Like, I really do not like the thought of non-existence. I don't know. People have different reactions when it comes to like mortality and stuff. It's tough for me. So, when I went to visit my friend Cecilia, I got to stay at her and her parents' place, like her family's place. And it's an old doctor's office and basically triage center because it was around before they had a hospital. And it's 3 stories from 1907, I think it was. And she says it's haunted. I luckily didn't get to run into anything, but it felt old. Like, that's for sure. Like, you can feel it in its bones. But it was a very pleasant place. I didn't get to meet any of the ghosts. Nothing freaked me out there. I was very surprised. I think, well, okay, I take that back. I got freaked out by a bug. There was a stink bug. I've never seen a stink bug in my life, right? And it's like this huge bug crawling on this curtain right by me. And I'm like texting Cece because she's upstairs. My first night there, I was about to go to bed on the couch, right? In the downstairs living room. And like, I look up and there's this stink bug on the freaking curtains. I'm like, help. Luckily she saw the text because I'm texting frequently, like frantically, and I sent her fucking video. I'm like, what the hell is this thing? It was really funny. She's like, LOL, it's a stink bug. Let me get it for you. I don't do well with bugs. Lily eats stink bugs. Oh my god, the cat eats stink bugs. Their cat didn't eat stink bugs. Their cat should have eaten the stink bug. I don't know. Noct is here. He can't catch anything worth a damn. It's so funny. Like, he'll go for... Like, we had a moth in here once. No, wait. It wasn't a moth. It was a grasshopper. Alright. Well, I guess technically it's a locust because I'm in the desert. Yeah. So we have, like, locusts here. They invade Las Vegas and they head either north or south. And sometimes they'll head here. And, yeah, so the locust comes in and he's, like... having the best time trying to catch it, but he can't catch it because he's not good at that because he's like not even 3 yet. Oh, it's so funny. I had, you know, he did finally bat it down, and it was on the ground, and I grabbed a cup and put it over it, and like, you know, of course you put the paper underneath and then you can hold it and then take it elsewhere. So I released it because I didn't want him to eat the bug. It's a cricket. Like, well, locust cricket. They're good luck. You know, I didn't want him to kill off the good luck. But yeah, he can't catch anything worth a damn. He's a good cat, though. He's just been sleeping in my window since I've been in here. He had a big day today. I played with him. And then I played with him again. And I played with him like 4 times today. Like, pretty thoroughly, I guess it would be. I got him tired out finally. He's been doing zoomies at night, so. And he's bored right now. For some reason, he is so bored. He is bored. He is, oh my god, I'm so bored. Come play. So, I've been playing a lot. He's such a fun cat, though. I mean, sometimes it gets annoying that he's that bored, but he's a smart cat, so of course he's gonna get bored. He's a tuxedo, and they tend to have very, like, smart and witty personalities. Get the young master a cat wheel. I mean, if we can afford a cat wheel, them things are like $200. Yeah, he needs stimulation. Plus, I don't think he would use it. He would just sit on it. He likes the types of toys that are, like pouncing. Things he can pounce on in the sense of, like, I got him this, it's basically like a circular sheet of, cloth, and underneath it there is a, just basically like a circular thing, and out from it is a rod that goes around that has a little toy in the end, so it goes underneath this cloth, so it's like someone's hands are under there. He loves the fuck out of that thing. He just would go hit it randomly. I mean, he loves it. But he also likes fishing toys, in the sense of like toys that have something at the end of a string. So that way he can have something to bite on and chase if you, like, you know, go around and around in a circle with it. So that's what I've been playing with lately. Because, like, I'll make him hop up on things like the cat tree, or, you know, go from the floor to my bed, to my desk, to the floor, under the bed, you know. So that way he can get lots of different things. He can tire himself out by jumping up and down on stuff. Like a little kid. So he's all tuckered out and in his window seat. In the mornings he likes to look out the windows, so that way he can watch the birds. It is so cute. He'll chitter at the birds and people. He likes watching the pool guy. So my apartment complex has a pool, and it's like right behind us. And he likes to watch the maintenance guy, like, clean all the leaves or bugs or whatever's fallen in the pool, you know, with the rake. He likes watching that. It's really cute. Aw, yeah, see? And Noctis does the same thing. Chirps and twitches his tail. And just chitters away. Like, oh, I want to catch that. I've got to find his laser again, because we had a laser pointer. And I put it somewhere. He loves that thing, too. He likes to give chase, and he likes to pounce on things, so I'm not sure he would do well with just a wheel. It would be really funny, though, if he did. If he just was like, you know what? I'm gonna go for a run, and just starts running on the wheel. Oh, that sweet Lily likes that kind of stuff. Cats are fun. He's a sweet cat, though. Like, he does really, really good with Liz. So Liz is an epileptic, right? And, so we got Noctis for, like, companionship and whatnot. He's a companion animal. A therapy cat. And he does his job. Like, he'll go and, like, be super sweet to Liz, and it's so fun. But, like, to me, I'm, like, a playmate, and he likes to roughhouse with me. But he's just the sweetest thing to his mom. It's so funny. It's also really sweet, too. Like, she can pick up and hold him like a baby. No problems. He's cool with that. On occasion, she'll take him for a drive, and he just sits in her lap while she's driving. She doesn't do that when it's so hot out, though. Like, Noctis is an indoor cat, so, like, he's actually kind of afraid and skittish for the outside. And, you know, knock wood, that he never thinks to go dash outside. But, yeah. It's always like, please, when do I get to be home again? Whenever he goes anywhere. But she takes him on occasion, so that way he doesn't just associate going in the car with, like, going to the vet or something. Lily would never let you do that. Hold like a baby. Yeah. Noctis luckily was handled a lot. We handled him a lot when he was a kitten, and so he's used to being picked up and stuff. And it's really kind of cute. Like, in the morning, I'll pick him up and put him on my shoulder. Like, and hold him kind of like one does when burping a baby. Just kind of like on my shoulder. And he licks my ear. He's like, okay, I'm cool with this. And we go out into the kitchen, and I set him down in his little perch by the window. And I go feed my fish. It's our morning routine. You can hold Lily for a bit, but then she punches and bites your hand. That's what Noctis does to me. Like, I can hold him for like 2 seconds flat, like a baby, and then he's like, chomp. He's a very chompy cat, too. Like, on top of things. Which is funny. Your dog is too. That's funny. Oh my goodness, this is gonna take a long time to color, isn't it? I didn't realize that. But it's our project, so it does take forever to color these. When I do color them. Your dog idolizes your dad. That's sweet. You know, that's the cool thing about animals, is they just pick a person. Like, Noctis definitely thinks I'm like a litter mate or something, because he'll just come hang out with me and just be an absolute bother. Like, he'll knock shit off my desk, have fun, you know, run around, chomp me, play with me, try to pounce my feet on occasion when he's bored. But I can tell because he's really bad at stalking. Like, it's funny to see, like, them idolize somebody, though. Like, Noctis totally does that with Liz, and it's super sweet. It's funny seeing a 6-foot-plus guy fawning over short dachshund. Yeah! Those are so cute. My auntie, my Aunt Julie, always has had either dachshunds or pugs. Like, she had a dachshund named Sugar when I was growing up. This long little wiggly thing. Kind of a chocolatey brown almost. I want to say like more of a chestnutty brown. But yeah, her name was Sugar. It was a cool dog. Oh, I really should actually get to bed. It's like 2:15. It's like 4 something your time. What the heck are you doing still up? You having insomnia problems too? Okay, well, you know what? This is our nightly medication check. If you have not taken your medication, it's time for medication. So I will be going and getting mine. Uno momento. Okay, I have some medication, and I also found a sleepy noctis. So here is the little guy. He's a kitty cat. He's wondering what the heck is going on with all my stuff. That's so funny. His coat looks so light in the light. Okay, bud. That's so funny. I wonder if you can... What are you doing, Noctis? Oh, I changed my video style. But, at the same time, he's having the best time on my desk. Because I don't usually let him up here. He's kitty. What are you seeing? Oh, now he's got an itch. Okay, dude. You can get off my desk. I wonder if I can flip the orientation yet. I think I might have broke the orientation. Darn it. Well, I'm glad that you take yours right as you get home and get lightheaded and close to fainting. Yeah, I have day medication and I have night medication, and I forget if I don't have something like to remind me. I'm glad he thought the fluff demon was cute. It's so funny that his coat looked so much lighter and more reddish in the light, like bright light. But he's a tuxedo cat. He's black and white. But in the summer it kind of gets highlights, I guess. And then in bright light it looks lighter. Okay. It is time for bed, my friends. Thank you again for hanging out with me tonight. I appreciate it. I hope you all have a wonderful night. It's been a pleasure talking with all of you. I've had a really nice time. But time to head out. This is fun. We should do this more often. Okay. Talk to you later. Bye.